traders. Welcome to Thursday's Market Sit Rep here at Top Gun Options. Matthew Buckley, call sign Whiz, one of the portfolio managers here at TGO. And very, very interesting trading day so far. I mean, the futures this morning took a huge dip as sanctions against Russia really hit the tape, and Putin say, hey, this is going to boomerang right back and hit the United States in the face. But who cares, right? We only care when we care. So now essentially the Dow's up a little bit, the S&P's flat. And that makes sense based on the mixed bag of economic news. So let's take a look at the flight schedule today. Building permits, 0.96 million underneath 1.04 million forecast. Weekly unemployment claims, essentially came in line. Housing starts, 0.89 million versus 1.02. But look at the Philly Fed. This is almost a 4 standard deviation beat. Okay, so horrible housing news and good Philly Fed news. Let's dig into it. Okay, so the Philly Fed 3-year high. Okay, awesome. If you read that headline and got bullish, you'd be foolish because you need to dig into it. Okay, a lot of the sub indices improved with new orders exploding to the highest in 10 years sold. Great news, right? Nope. The outlook. This is what you have to read, folks. The outlook in the Philly Fed sees employment drop, work week drop, and CapEx investment plans to drop to its lowest level since January. Okay, so looking out into the future, again, this Philly Fed is rearward facing, which kind of cracks me up because you guys all know the story with Q1 GDP. It was nearly a negative 3.0 print. Okay, so these the Empire Fed the other day and this Philly Fed, they're a little I don't know. So let's move on to housing starts, though. Here you go. Here's great news out of housing. Housing starts tumble missed the most since January of 2007. Housing starts, folks. Anybody know what happened around 2007 in housing? Permits have the biggest 2-month plunge since Lehman Brothers. Okay, so not such good news out of the housing market, okay? And in kind of big news, Microsoft booting 18,000 jobs. 18,000 people from big old Microsoft, right? I was going to say Big Blue, but we all know who Big Blue is. But I mean, Microsoft is just a bellwether, and they're ditching jobs. That's not a good sign, folks. So we have a mixed bag today. We got sanctions hitting Russia that kind of roiled world markets because it is starting to target a little more sectors, such as their defense sector and some other areas. So the world's a little creeped out by that. And not the best macroeconomic data out of the United States here, okay? And then obviously just some real bad stuff going on in Israel. I mean, 4 Palestinian kids who were essentially running around playing on the beach got killed yesterday. That's an absolute horror. But the way the world is reacting is a horror as well. Like the Israeli Defense Force targeted 4 Palestinian kids playing on the beach. If you read what happened, their parents told them to not move, stay in the house. They were Palestinian fishermen. Their father said, don't move. It's dangerous. We got to go fishing. They didn't listen, went out and played on the beach. And there was some Hamas activity on that beach and huts and stuff like that the IDF targeted, and they were collateral damage. Absolutely horrible. But I am going to tell you, as a former naval aviator who's seen these type of conditions and knows about this stuff, look at World War II, folks. We firebombed Dresden, Germany. Completely 250,000 people killed, civilians, men, women, children. Today, the world goes absolutely apeshit with 4 kids that get killed. I feel like shit. I think it's horrible, obviously, but it just shows you the mentality shift that we have in the world. And of course, Israel's going to be condemned for all of this, while Hamas is going to take a pass and continue to rain rockets down on Israel. I'm telling you, this is going to get uglier. And Netanyahu's already said, "Hey, man, we might be entering the Gaza here and going on the offensive." So this is going to get uglier. If you remember the other intifada that happened, it was ugly for a couple weeks and a month, and world markets kind of got a little roiled. So keep an eye on this on your radar. Okay, let's take a look at this. If you were in our weekly options test flight for 2 weeks, with the first week being this week, you're up potentially over $4,000 on 2 trades, Chipotle and the S&P 500. And the S&P 500 trades expire today, folks. So that's 4 days, okay? And I closed the CMG trade in a day. We put this on Monday, closed it on Tuesday for $1,400 gain. So in 4 days, again, because the SPX trades expire this afternoon, we've made over $4,000. Okay, that's pretty shit hot, folks, and there's still a lot to go in this SPX trade. So really bummed out for you if you didn't choose to get on board. You're missing out on some great trading going on in our weekly options model portfolio. So I need you to go to topgunoptions.com/14-days. Okay, do that right now. Scroll down, and for the price of half the price of a bottle of wine, or actually for the price of a really crappy bottle of wine, you can get a 2-week test flight into our weekly option service. I'm going to throw in a couple of our proprietary trading manuals, the primary level workbook, and the options pocket checklist, some video training, and also I'm going to throw in access to our primary live trade brief model portfolio, where weekly options are very short term, they're fast paced, have very high profit potential. Our primary live trade brief is a little longer term focused. Okay, we're long term bullish on Japan, China, Brazil, AIG, Goldman Sachs. We're longer term focused in that portfolio as opposed to week to week. Okay, so I'll give you a look at both of our services by going to topgunoptions.com/14-days so you can get airborne in your test flight. Okay, you snooze, you lose. We got a lot of happy people who are taking a 2-week test flight that are up over potentially, well, now in the time that I've recorded this video, up nearly $4,600. Okay, that's the power of weekly options, folks, and you really need to get on board now. Okay, so I got to run. I got to manage some of these trades and manage the rest of my trades that are expiring tomorrow in my other portfolio. So I got to get out some emails and text alerts to all of our subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, you're missing out. Period. Okay, happy hunting. Make sure you hedge, and I'll be back with Friday's market wrap up tomorrow. We'll see you.